Are you looking for the best backpacking tents of 2025? In this video we will look at some of the 4 best tents on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description, so make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Starting at number 1. BigAgnes Copper Spur HV-UL2. The BigAgnes Copper Spur HV-UL2 is the 2-person version of the UL3 discussed above. They share many features we love, including 18 square feet of vestibule space, but the 2-person version weighs almost a pound less. For smartly placed pockets, including a large hammock slung from the ceiling, and 9 easy-to-use loops give you plenty of storage options. Color-coded straps and integrated attachment points for the tent and rainfly make for a smooth setup process. The rainfly is lightweight, has one strut vent in the ceiling, and breathes well. I love that you can configure the doors in different ways. You can even set one up as an awning to protect from harsh sunlight or drizzle, our tester noted. The rainflies on both Copper Spur tent models are long, which blocks rain, but also restricts ventilation. It also means keeping them stretched tightly is more difficult. Let the fly sag, which it tends to do in the rain, and a pool of water can form on the roof where the poles cross. While the tent stayed dry during our test, it can potentially soak through if you don't shake it off. Compared to dark mesh, the inner tent's white mesh ceiling is not as ideal for stargazing, and all of the fabric is extremely lightweight. We would follow the company's recommendation to purchase the optional footprint to increase its durability. Though this tent is lighter than the UL3, it doesn't pack down any smaller. The UL2 has a little less floor space and headroom than the Slingfin Portal 2 but offers better space-to-weight ratios. All in all, if you want to save weight but aren't willing to scrimp on comfort, this is a compelling option. At number 2. Summit Telos TR2. You can use the Summit Telos TR2 in 3 ways: as a traditional double-wall tent, as a single-wall tarp shelter, or as a sunshade, with the help of trekking poles and a guy line. In short, it's the most versatile backcountry tent we've tested. A distinctive, arched crossbar creates a luxurious amount of headroom where you want it most, and it offers clever features like stuffed sacks that double as storage pockets and a pole bag that snaps into the ceiling to become an overhead light. This tent is a compelling option for hikers who have a range of shelter requirements throughout the year. The drawback is the Telos TR2 doesn't offer as much headroom or floor space per pound as the top-ranked models. The overall weight is also a bit heavier. Fast packers seeking the protection of a double-wall tent might not find this the most appealing option. For those who prefer a double-wall construction and a lighter weight, the BigAgnes Tiger Wall UL2 solution die is a great choice. The Telos TR2 is also pricey, but then again, it is 3 shelters in one. If you find that kind of versatility attractive, this tent is second to none. At number 3. NEMO Aurora 2. The NEMO Aurora 2 is the most spacious and airy-feeling tent we've tested. We measured a peak height of 44 inches, over 30 square feet of floor space, and enough headroom to sit up in all but 5 of those square feet. It's sturdy and is backed by NEMO's lifetime warranty. The tent comes with a footprint to reduce wear and tear, and you can order an additional paw print protector that snaps into the corners if you often travel with dogs. 2 vents on either end of the tent open wide with struts to shed heat and humid air, and the tent's 2 massive doors can fully open for an epic cross breeze. You can also pitch the fly and the footprint alone as a sunshade. 4 pockets give you space to organize your stuff, and there is plenty of room for the rest inside the tent or in the 18.4 square foot vestibules. Despite holding its own during our 3-day rain test, the Aurora had some water creep in and beat up on the floor by the head of the tent. We should note the fly features loops to attach guy lines to stake it out at the tent's head and foot, but the lines don't come attached. Once we added them, the tent stayed dry. At 5.5 pounds, this tent is heavy and bulky to pack. 2 people can certainly splint the weight and haul it into the backcountry, but they might not want to. Still, it serves as a sturdy base camp if you aren't venturing too far and could be a great crossover tent for car campers who occasionally hit the trail. The North Face Stormbreak 2 is a similarly roomy, excellently priced, and weather-resistant tent that weighs 6.27 pounds, though we do have some durability concerns due to fraying fabric and bunching seams. At number 4. BigAgnes Copper Spur HV-UL3. The BigAgnes Copper Spur HVUL3 offers more interior floor space and headroom per pound than any tent in the test, yet weighs less than many two-person options and packs down as small as the BigAgnes Copper Spur HVUL2. That makes it pretty compelling, even if you only occasionally sleep 3 to a tent. I love all the storage options this tent offers, our tester remarked. The vestibules are 18 square feet, great for stashing packs outside the tent, and there are 8 internal pockets, including a massive gear hammock hanging from the ceiling. A strutted vent in the ceiling cuts down on condensation inside the fly and helps the tent stay cool on sunny days. 4 guy lines secure the structure in heavy winds, and, as our tester shared, the waterproof fly kept me and my hiking partner dry during a 3-day rainstorm. Color coding, a multi-function double door system, and labeled features make the Copper Spur easy to set up and use. You can also turn the rainfly into an awning with trekking poles or a sunshade with a footprint, sold separately. The tapered footprint design of the HVUL3 makes it difficult to stash extra gear by your feet. Luckily, you can buy a separate gear loft that attaches to 3 loops in the ceiling if you want additional storage. A more pressing problem is the tent's extremely lightweight fabric and poles aren't as sturdy as we'd like. The same poles broke with 2 other tents during testing. Fortunately, they're pretty easy to repair. The company recommends buying a footprint to protect your tent. We agree with this recommendation, though we didn't encounter any durability issues during testing. The rainfly can also sag over time and when wet. When it does, a pool of water can form on the roof where the poles overlap unless you keep it tightened. If durability is your primary concern, the Hilleberg Unjun 2 GT is built for extreme weather. However, your third person will have to pack their own shelter, as this tent is only big enough for 2. Despite these shortcomings, the HVUL3 is an excellent option for those who want the flexibility to change the number of folks in your backpacking party.